Hi people and hello my Chili con Carnage crew, it's Chili here for another episode of Live Listen and Raise. This is the third in a series that we have been doing here, and I am joined once again by all my lovely guests here. We'll kick off, we've got Hector over here in the top corner here. Hector, how are you for today's episode?
I am good.
Oh.
I have my heart here.
I heart you too.
I heart you.
And we've just got Matthew who's popping in and out. How are you, Matthew?
I am great, and I love you even more. And wait, it lights up.
Oh my gosh. Is this some...
Now the only thing JC can do to top that is take out his own heart.
JC, are you going to rip out your heart?
Nobody told me we're bringing hearts. I don't have any hearts.
No hearts to give.
No hearts to give.
JC, it's good to see you on this episode. I thought there was an inside joke just then. So, JC, welcome to the channel again for this episode of Live Listen and Raised. How are you going?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah.
That's the way. All right, I think everyone knows how this episode is pretty much run down, but this is, I guess, Side C. If you haven't seen Side A and Side B, you got to go and check them out. For a brief rundown, Live Listen and Raise, quick game, and it's basically 3 albums that will be picked. You have to listen to one forever. You get to see one performed live once only, that's it. And then you have to erase one. So we have, of course, the 3 guests here, and our random roulette wheel of pain is back for the remainder of these little spinny wheels. Here we go. So we're going to take bets, actually, before we begin. What album do you think you're going to see there, Hector? What album do you think?
I would love to be discuss thoroughly Limp Bizkit Still Suck.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. That's a good one. Matthew, what do you reckon you'll see on this spin?
My gut's telling me Incubus Morning View.
Ooh, yeah, that would be another interesting pick with the timing, of course. And,
exactly.
Yeah. And JC, which one do you think will come up?
I'm going to go with Ministries with Sympathy.
I kind of have a feeling that the Acacia strain is going to pop. I don't know. Oh, that would be interesting. All right. Go. There goes the clip. All right, let's spin the wheel. Let's see who's the first one of pain. Oh, the noises again. I'm so ready for this. Here we go. Oh, the ocean.
My pick, the ocean.
The ocean.
Right.
Pelagial. Oh yeah.
Notes.
Yep. We're going to write that one down, don't we? So, yep, the ocean is the first one. Is it Pelagial? Am I saying that right?
Pelagial, yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually saw the band in March in Puerto Rico.
Oh, okay.
Awesome live.
Nice. All right, let's go.
Nice.
Yeah, let's go for it. Second pick for the episode. This is absolute randomness, this one. All right. Oh, fuck it. Yes!
Yeah! Oh,
Yes!
yes!
Oh, get some! Get some!
Oh,
Man. You're a gambling man. If Matthew
my
picks
last name is literally Gamble.
Yeah, that's right. We talked about that in the last one. I think you got it right in the last episode as
We're
well.
talking about the original one, not the 20.
Yeah, not 20, but we will discuss 23. I guarantee we'll mention that.
I
Sure,
want
of
to
course.
discuss, yeah.
Yeah. Last one for the pick here. I feel like the sound is dragging. It's like lagging or something like that. For the Fallen. All right. That's a good pick. That's a fairly decent pick there. I like this one here.
Everyone's separate picks, right?
Yeah,
Pick one for me.
I believe so.
Or the
I'm
Fallen
so
Dream
glad
movie.
Ministry wasn't picked.
I'm still waiting for that.
Because if now I can just say here, now that album isn't picked, let's do that one for Is It That Bad?
We're going to save it for there.
Yeah.
Who knows?
always
Who
ready for
knows?
that.
We might get another episode out of this, but question mark.
Ooh.
Question mark. There's still a few out there.
So much content.
Oh gosh, what do I do with all this content I have? So, okay, let's begin off with the first album on the pick here, The Ocean with Pelagial, which, Hector, this was your pick. Do you want to run us?
One of my picks, yeah.
This is one of your picks. Do you want to start us down the path of The Ocean and talk about this band?
So I discovered this band with this album in 2013. So this is a concept record about the different depths of the ocean. So the album starts less heavy, and once, like every song is like you're going deeper in the ocean until you're like at the deep core, and it keeps getting heavier and heavier. And I just thought the concept is just great. And actually, as we're recording this, they're gonna play this album full in a few dates, in a few months. They're gonna play the album from beginning to end. And this album, they have two versions. They even have like an instrumental version of where it's only the music. And the ocean is they're progressive, they're sludgy. They have, like, you can compare them. They have some Mastodon in them, but then they have the progressive side and really sludgy. And I saw them live in Puerto Rico, and they're amazing. These songs translated, like almost all their albums are concepts. Like after this, they have albums that are about the Jurassic eras. Like I'm telling you, it's like very deep stuff.
Jurassic Park, here we go.
No, it's not. Jurassic Park, it's frightening in the dark. No.
Sam Neill, guest appearance.
Yeah, but this album, the concept is all about like the deepness of the ocean. Like it starts like in the right in like where it's not that like.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what's the word I'm trying to use? The depth of the ocean. I'm like, this is so complicated. I can't read. No, I'm kidding.
This is a different level. Like, you got mathcore on one side. This is like science metal on the other side.
This is like
For
science.
real.
20,000 leagues under the sea.
I remember when this album came out. This was one of my top 5 albums of that year. It blew me away. I just thought, like, first of all, like the concept, like, and how they did it. Because if you listen to the album, you feel like it's getting heavier and heavier. So I think they achieved it. And this was my introduction to the band. And I still think that this is a kick-ass album. So
okay.
The Ocean, Pelagial, great, amazing album. Like if you want to get your mind blown, like listen to this band because but be prepared to like analyze it. This is not easy listening by any stretch.
We don't do easy listening here. We do difficult listening.
I wanted to talk Limp Bizkit still sucks, so I didn't have to think. I'm like, oh damn it, Pelagial.
God.
It's a deep record, and the way that they use the clean vocals with the harsher, just great, and the instrumentals here, great. Like if you listen to this album instrumentally only, it's great, but with the vocals, it adds all those layers. So I definitely would recommend The Ocean to anyone that likes prog and sludge.
Interesting. Prog, sludge joined together for a concept album. Matthew, what are your thoughts in regards to Pelagial, this album?
After hearing Hector talk about it, because most of the times when I listen to new stuff, I don't really go into the lore or the details. I just take it at face value, and then I like hearing all these facts afterward because then it like makes things like connect more and everything. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. And The Ocean, it was right in front of me the whole time. It gets deeper, heavier, and that just. I love simple things blowing my mind.
I know. I didn't pick up on that either. When I'm looking at the track list, like, oh yeah, apoplectic and bathylegic or whatever it is. But
and I'm at school. I scuba dive, so I know what it's like when you go deeper. Like how.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
What's the deepest you've gone in a dive?
I have the license that I have is like the normal one. So the deepest I've gone is like 60 to 70 feet.
But
like
it's about 20 meters. Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. Except when like the pressure. I had this instance when I was like doing scuba diving, and
Mm.
I'm going down, but I'm going down too fast. And
Mm.
there's something called where your mask is called a mask squeeze. So do you
Oh.
remember that scene in Total Recall?
No.
Oh.
Insert that scene in the video
Insert
where
that.
you're like,
Ah!
and the funny thing is, I was doing it, and the only thing you have to do is like blow air, so it would. But I had a panic attack, and
Oh,
I'm like,
fuck that.
oh, and everyone's like, look at me, he's gonna die. But then I had a week that all of this was red. My eyes, my capillaries broke all here. It looked like I had been in a fight with Rocky.
Damn.
Jesus. Oh
So that's
god.
my
Ooh.
story for the ocean.
Wow. That's wow.
That's so scary 'cause I love the ocean, but I can't swim, but I'm fascinated by water. So just hearing that like
Mm.
scares me, but also like, ooh, I'm intrigued.
But
Oh.
did I die?
Did you die?
No, I'm right here.
Did you die?
But did you die? Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so like definitely hearing all that stuff, I understand like, oh, that's why I like the back end of this album more, because it's just heavy, dense, gloomy, and just pummels you. And I was just
Mm.
thoroughly surprised by it. And just overall the pacing, the drumming and everything's really good here. And I think I like it more now hearing that the whole concept of the ocean and understanding it more and more and everything. And it's just good. It's just well made prog metal. Like
Mm.
great concept
Yeah,
album after hearing about this and everything. It just makes a lot of sense. It was
yeah. I'm
surprisingly
reading
good.
more
Oh.
about the concept. It's exploring the sequencing, the music such that it's increasingly dark and claustrophobic.
Mm.
Like because when you're like in deep, like very deep ocean, like not a lot of like things can live there.
Mm.
So yeah, I've read that we've explored more outer space than the ocean. Like
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
and I interviewed the guitar player for the Ocean on the Channel,
Oh.
and when they played Puerto Rico the first time, they did a music video and this is a true story, near a beach. And it's almost nighttime, and he's a professional swimmer, and he took a swim. The guitar player from the ocean almost drowned in the ocean in Puerto Rico. There was, yeah, some no, this stuff, yeah, some strong.
Here we are laughing at it.
I'm
We're
sorry.
gonna
I'm
send
not.
this to the. He's gonna be like, why are you? And he's German and big. I saw. He's like 6'6" or something.
Ich bin
So,
ein
but-
Schwimmer.
Yeah,
Schwimmer.
the current took him, and he spent almost 2 hours, and he almost died in Puerto Rico.
Huh.
But the good thing is that he came back next year to play a concert. And when I interviewed him, I'm like, "Thank you for coming back." And I don't know if I pissed him off because of reminding him, "Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me again that I almost drowned."
Das ist nicht gut. Nicht gut.
Nein,
It would be
nein.
so ironic. The ocean dies in the ocean, you know?
Oh, could you imagine the headlines, you know? Yeah, Uber Metal guitarist, das ist nicht sehr gut in the Wasser, water.
Wait, so he was in ocean and die ocean?
Oh, bro. Oh, God. At least
The irony.
Yeah, the irony with that one. At least he couldn't be named like a band like Cattle Decapitation, but anyway. Yeah. So, JC, what are your thoughts in regards to this record?
So, the first time I heard this band was they released an album last year, and I usually listen to all the new stuff that comes out. It's called Holocene and came out last year, and I was kind of like, I didn't get into it. It was like kind of boring for me, and I think like this is the type of band that like you have to like give it a chance, and just maybe like listen to it a few times or just pay attention to the music because it's not like easy listening music. It's not gonna be some type of like 4 chords with a catchy chorus. I mean, it's like very like deep, which is a good word to use because it's about the ocean. And I like
Gotta use your brain when you listen.
and I like
Gotta get
when,
your feet wet.
Yeah. I like when bands write stuff about like science and stuff because a lot of metal bands are always like writing about the same stuff. Whether it's like the death metal, or they're writing about the devil, or like at least they're
Gross.
doing these bands is doing something different. So I like it when they're doing this kind of stuff, and it's all this science stuff. So yeah, it's very deep. I think like it's a good album. Listen to it with headphones. Just listen to it at night in the dark, and just you gotta like pay attention to everything that's going on. So yeah, I listened to this one a lot, and I thought it was pretty good. So I actually
Yeah.
really got into this band. I think it's the type of band that you kind of gotta give them a chance, because it's not like really easy listening. But
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
this band has like a lot going on.
You started with their most chill record. Yeah, the last record that they put out, it's to me it's not bad, but compared to other of their albums, it's like their most like weakest to me. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They turned off the
Yeah.
the old big muff drive in the effects pedal. Okay, so yeah, look, I mean, when it comes to the ocean, I have thalassophobia, which, if anyone who knows oceans, means that you have a fear of open water. And if you played Subnautica like I did, because I'm a madman, then it kind of reminds me a bit, I guess. Now you mention it being, certain depths of reminding me of Subnautica, which was a hell scary game to play. It's such a weird one. But anyway, obviously, if you don't know the game, it takes place in water. There's like one island, and you got to swim to all kinds of levels underwater. It's pretty freaky. It reminded me, you know what? I'm so glad you picked this one for me, Hector, because I love this album. But I didn't do it enough justice, because the first time I played through the first couple of tracks. I'm like, damn, this is awesome. It's got that atmospheric kind of metal sound, which reminded me. It reminded me of the band Isis, or is it ISIS? I can never remember how to.
ISIS, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I forgot about that band.
Yeah, like the worst name for a band ever. But that's why I always call them Isis, because it's like, you don't want to tie it to that, do you? Yeah.
It could have been worse. You could have been named like Al Qaeda or
Imagine, oh god.
like
Or a band named 911.
Yeah. Well, there was 311. I mean,
Hey, do not shit on 311.
You could call yourself Osama and the Bin Ladens. I don't know. Like, what else could you go down?
Ooh.
How do we get to the? Anyway,
You're talking about Isis.
Isis,
You said they were
yes. Isis. I'm like, how did I get the separation between that? So Isis is just, or Isis, whatever you want to call them. It really reminded me of their album, which I think was also called The Ocean, and it's just like
Oceanic.
That's it. Yeah, it was very similar naming to it.
Yeah,
And
the band now, they're called like the Ocean Collective. They have to change their name or something.
how weird. That's why I struggled to find them at first. It is on Apple Music as The Ocean. But when I was listening to this album, as I said, I listened to the first couple of tracks in a row, so I didn't take note of the concept, which is amazing. I think that's a really cool idea for a concept, going from the depths. So you're starting from fairly light music to going down in depth levels, and obviously, soul-crushing kind of metal and lyrics within that kind of feels a bit like that Mastodon influence with and Gajura with all the whales on the front of their album covers, except what's lurking beneath these whales? Water crushing you. Yeah, so it's really cool that they've done this. I love this album. Interesting little side note, because you mentioned that the singer nearly died while swimming. We had
The
guitar player. Sorry, the guitar player nearly died while swimming. Australia had a prime minister who was a very good swimmer, and he actually, when he was elected, he used to go swimming a lot still, and he went swimming one day and no one found him. He just disappeared. So that's a little known fact about Australian history right there. We had a prime minister.
Maybe he was eaten by a shark.
We had a prime minister in the 60s who would go swimming. I think it was 60s, yeah. Harold Holt is his name if you want to look it up. He went swimming while he was Prime Minister of Australia, by the way, and then was lost to sea. So we didn't know where he was, and we had no leader for the country for like a couple of weeks. And so, and this is where it takes a bad twist, is that this is the twist. In memory of his name, they named a pool after him.
Just a pool?
Yeah, a swimming pool. So there is the Harold Holt swimming pool, but it's believed that he drowned in the ocean. So anyway, I just thought I'd bring that one up because I think that's.
Did he not have security detail with him?
This is Australia. We don't have security. Pfft, what the hell's that?
I am so American right now. It's like, where's his service protecting? But hey.
Oh man, well, about a couple of years ago, the Chaser, they came up to the Prime Minister carrying a chainsaw, just to prove how lax security is. It's Australia. We don't have that threat. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm American.
You are so American. So, I love this album. For me, this record, I'm adding it to my albums to, download because I love this record. I think it invokes those vibes of atmospheric metal. I've got to go and listen to it because I had it on shuffle on the list. It kept jumping between the instrumental tracks to the standard tracks, and I didn't notice it. And now that you mentioned that they had it, I'm like, oh shit! I
have to listen to it front to back.
Front to back, not the instrumental version. So yeah, I'm still, regardless of the shuffle play, I think it was an amazing album. It's in my collection now. I love this record. So thank you, Hector, for the suggestion on that. You know me too well. So I think that'll jump over to the next one. Incubus, people. Ooh. Incubus.
You know you.
Wish you were here. Not the Pink Floyd song. But yeah, we are talking about Morning View. This is my selection. And I wanted to talk about Morning View because I think this actually might be my favorite album by Incubus. I would probably put this one above Make Yourself and Science. That's controversial opinion probably too. Matthew, what are you doing?
Just had to make sure I heard what I heard.
Yeah, he heard what. Yeah, he's just like, okay.
Actually, Morning View is my favorite Incubus record too.
Yes, vindication. People.
I have it on vinyl.
Yeah, I saw that on your review, and I chose this one because I wanted to talk about it because obviously by now, when this video hits, Morning View 23 came out, which was the re-release of the album. So I wanted to talk about the original record, and obviously refresh everyone's minds to what I believe is Incubus's most beautiful album that they've ever created. Their early records were fantastic, that blend of funk meets, yeah, there we go. I Heart You, Morning View. I think it's
Brandon Boyd, you're so dreamy.
Oh, take your shirt off, Brandon. Oh my gosh, yeah, so there was obviously Drive, which was on Make Yourself, massive song for the band. Science really helped shape the group as well, but we're talking that's like their funk metal kind of stage, and then they moved into that quasi nu metal. I'd say Make Yourself is nu metal, but then they evolved again for Make Yourself, which I think was very radio friendly, I guess might be the word to use.
You mean Morning View, right?
Morning. Did I say Glory? Fuck. I had to edit that in my review of the album. I knew I'd say that Morning Glory because anyway.
That's
but
Oasis, man.
Oasis. Yeah, so Morning View was more of a, I guess, radio friendly kind of album. They changed a bit more contemporary, but I love it. I love every piece of this record. Definitely amazing, and it's so ingrained in my head because I remember listening to this when I was about 13 when it came out, and it is like this album that stuck with me. So nostalgia trip hard for me. I could listen to this front to back, never skip a track, and I think it's just absolutely incredible. I guess we'll discuss the Morning View 23 as we progress on to everyone else, but Hector, I'm going to jump it over to you. What are your thoughts in regards to Incubus and Morning View? Not Glory.
Well, to me, it's a classic album. I have a funny story about when that album came out. That was like a summer record. Like that was like the record that I would actually go to the beach and play that record because it had that beachy California type of. And I'm an island boy. I live in an island. I went to the beach, and it was a record that you could go on a date and you could play that. Because she's like, oh, I don't like metal. Yeah. I'm like, this is okay. This is Incubus. and they're like, oh yeah. So it's a record that you could listen to on dates, and wouldn't like you can put Iron Maiden.
No.
On a date with someone that doesn't listen to metal and stuff. And I feel like
if you got Incubus, it's like don't pull out. You know that meme.
Oh my god! So I actually saw them twice concert when they were. I saw them on Lollapalooza, and I saw that they played in Puerto Rico. And in Puerto Rico, I went with my sister, and she had some crutches, and we're leaving the concert, and this band pulls up next to us, and the window rolls down, and it's Brandon Boyd.
Shut up!
He's like, "Oh no, what happened to you?" And my sister's like, "Brandon, I love you." and yeah, he's like, "Oh, hope you feel better," and like he high fived us, and I was like,
Wow.
and I saw him in person. I must tell you, I question my sexuality. I'm like, that is a pretty boy.
Chino Marino, Brandon, like
Brandon, don't leave me, Brandon.
Don't go, don't leave me, don't leave me.
No, and he seemed like such a cool guy. And what I like about this, and the other story I have with this record is like the last song on the record, Aqua's Transmission, the one I actually I was getting like going out. I was in like this show, Hardcore Bands, and I went to drive and I put Incubus. I'm like, let me put something that's more like to because the hardcore was too like. But I'm driving. It's like 2:30 in the morning, free, and I still have like 40 minutes to drive to get home because it was further away. And Aqua's Transmission starts playing, and I start falling asleep while driving. So I almost died listening to Morning View, and I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, shit, no, I gotta put some Pantera. I gotta put something else because that's when I had CD players in the car.
oh wow.
So, but yeah, like that, no one should drive or do heavy lifting with Aqua's Transmission because it's a song that you should do if you want to relax. That's a great song. It had like these Japanese instruments. I just thought it like me, this is their most even though it's most commercial, I think it's very experimental as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And just it's a beautiful record by the band. So that's why I bought it on vinyl.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The
to own
only
on
thing
vinyl.
I like about the 23 is that their bass player now is a chick and she's hot.
I was watching your review and I'm like, wait, the bass player's changed? And I went and Googled Incubus. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Say it, yeah.
Yeah, she's super hot. Like, I'm telling you. I saw her, I'm like, wow,
slapping the bass.
Yeah, you can slap my bass. Oh my god. But yeah.
Settle down, Borat.
Yeah, this is a classic record that I think has aged really well, and I still listen to it. Yeah,
I think it's one of those records as well that felt quintessential for home parties around about this time. I feel like this album, along with Blink-182, and I can't remember the third one, but you know, if you went to a house party where Incubus wasn't played or Blink wasn't played, what house party was it? Because it's not the right one. You know, it just felt like quintessential listening. Every house party I went to around about this time was playing Morning Glory. So,
I'm in Puerto Rico, man. They
Morning Glory.
Morning, fuck. Morning View. There was always, I'm thinking,
full chest.
Jesus. No, there was always some idiot with an acoustic guitar, although playing Morning Glory. So yeah, you know, it's like, shut up, I'm listening to Incubus.
Well, it's like, maybe you're gonna be one that fucks up my album title.
Far out. I'm gonna regret that.
It's probably gonna do it one more time for sure by the end of this video.
At least twice.
Morning View. Repeat to me, Chevy. View.
Morning
There's
View.
no glory.
Morning View.
There's just a view.
Dun 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 dun.
Pause
dun,
before
dun,
you
dun,
finish
dun,
the
dun.
word. Before the whole thing.
Yeah,
Morning.
channel your inner Brandon.
In a Brandon. All right, I'll take my shirt off. You don't want to see that. Matthew, if I haven't broken you by Morning View, then would you like to give your thoughts on this album?
Of course. I feel like I'm like with Incubus, when I first heard them, I was like in middle school at the time. My older brother and sister were really into them, and that was with the previous album, Make Yourself. I guess that my bias and leaning towards that because I heard it so much. Like we would do 12-hour drives from El Paso, Texas to Houston.
Wow.
And my brother would just listen to that album on repeat. And so, like, it's ingrained in my, like, literally listen to Drive for 12 hours straight.
While driving. You're listening to Drive while
driving.
driving. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not a bad track to have looped, I guess, though.
No, and still to this day, like, it's one of those songs that, yeah, probably people ought to get really sick of, but I just can't get sick of that out. So it's just so ingrained in my mind. And then, like I said, I was young. I was like middle school at that time. So I listened because my brother and sister listened. So I never listened to Morning View. And then the next time I didn't hear about Incubus wasn't until much later. Was I think the one with the murder, something about murder.
Crow Left of the Murders. A Crow Left of the View. Glory. I don't know, one of the words.
But yeah, something that it was a big jump for me. So then with this episode and everything, I had to go back. I was like, I never listened to Morning Glory.
We should play a game.
Oh my god!
Like, next a drinking game. Every time they say Morning Glory, take a shot.
I'm gonna edit this episode and have a tally in the corner. Every time someone says Morning Glory, I'll have a tally.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking. It just happened. Oh my god. Morning View.
Ooh.
Like I thought I didn't realize the song "Are You In" as much as I love that song. I thought that was on the previous album.
Yeah, it does feel like that. Yeah.
I don't know why I connected those two, but yeah, that's a banger of a song. And like overall, as I listen to this, I see how good it is and how much like why everyone talks about "Wish You Were Here." Why it's a banger, everyone loves it. I get it why they like it. And going through this song and this album, like Hector said, pretty experimental. I think it's very different from like other stuff I've listened to, Incubus and everything. Very chill, very mild and everything. And since I thought this came out before Make Yourself, it came out afterwards. So to me, it feels a little bit of a step down in terms of just, I guess, Make Yourself was more of that radio-friendly, radio rock, not radio rock, but just more acceptable to a lot of people. This seemed a little bit more just pulled back, more chill and everything, which is still fine and everything. I just still like Make Yourself a little bit more than this album and stuff, but I see why everyone likes this album so well, because the chill ambient, not saying ambient, but chill vibes you get on here, and like just the overall like production and everything sounds really good, and the bass sounds really good on this album.
Yeah, it does.
Like always, like Incubus has good bass. And
well, she looks better now.
Sounds better and it looks better.
Everything's better. And yeah, like it's a lot of somber vibes. And like even Hector saying going on a date, like going on the beach, I can see this, it makes sense for that. And probably not driving to that, especially that last song, Aquarius Transmission, I can see that is very, very I was like exercising to this album, like running. And by the end, it's like, you know, I don't want to run. I just want to chill. Like
it's a yoga song, if anything.
Yeah, you can't be doing something high active while listening to that song or this album. So it tracks really well, and I think they did a pretty good job with this album. I'm very divisive of which is better, so I'll leave it at that.
No, that's fair.
I just realized that with the two albums that we just spoke, I had two near-death experiences with with both albums.
What? What's the near-death on Incubus?
The driving.
Oh, the driving. Sorry.
I would have died.
You got to stop listening to music. It's perilous for your health. So, JC, what are your thoughts in regards to Incubus and Morning View?
This was the first album I bought from them, and I like it a lot. Yeah, a lot of people like say like Science is the best album. I don't like that album at all. I think it's just kind of like weird. I never liked it. I've tried to listen to that one. I never got into it. And then Make Yourself is pretty good. It has some good singles. But Morning View, like all of you guys were saying, it was so different. It was very chill. I really like the guitar tone. Like they have that like specific, very unique like guitar tone. I like that. And just like the songs are just very chill. So they're like atmospheric, and it's just like it's like a relaxing album. But there are some like parts that are a little heavy, like the first track, "Nice to Know You." I mean that gets like a little heavy at times. But then there's like a lot of like relaxing stuff here. But I think it's just like a really good album. It's different, and I I never really like. I kind of stopped listening to this band afterwards. I know they released The Crow Left and Murder. I never really listened to that one. After that,
No.
I didn't get into them until like much later when they released Eight, which from 2017, and that one was not really a great
Yeah,
album, but
that one
it was
sucks.
like
Tell us how you really
yeah, it
feel.
wasn't good. But I think Make Yourself is probably like the band's peak. Like they peaked at Make Yourself, and then they kind of like started going downhill.
Mm.
So I think that's kind of interesting that they decided to remake it.
Yeah,
So also what's interesting, if we if one of us tries to erase Morning View, then the new one will be erased also because will have never
ah.
existed.
We were erasing
Ah,
2 albums at the price of
do
1.
not erase the bass player, please.
I think the bass player will be fine. It's just the record. So
I
does
feel
that
really
mean?
bad, but I haven't checked out the new version of this, which I was planning on doing soon. So I feel bad I didn't comment on it, but it sounds like it's really different from the original release.
No, it's
Or there's
Not
it,
really.
it's a live
oh
recording.
Yeah, it's like a
I
live
see.
re-recording, which I'll discuss in just a minute anyway. So
Oh, okay.
Matthew, you can sit
Sorry to
down
jump
and
in
shut
there.
up about that. But if you haven't heard it, he's dead. Everyone. I just wanted to quickly, I wanted to quickly mention, JC. Do you reckon that Incubus' song "Mexico" should be the new national anthem for Mexico?
Mm.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because like the first time I went to Mexico to live was back in 1999, and I came back to the U.S. in like the end of 2000s. So I bought this album like I was like a year back from after living in Mexico. So I remember that song stood out.
Mm.
Like I remember like one thing that I remember about this album is that it had a song called Mexico on it. So thought it was cool. Yeah.
I love that track. I think it's like one of the best
Yeah.
tracks on that album. I love it. All right, so we're going to quickly talk. Okay, we have to discuss the elephant within the room of Morning View, and that is, of course, Morning View 23. So I want to have a quick rundown, everyone, on everyone's thoughts because, I thought it was a decent recording. I think it's not bad. Obviously, Brendan's vocals, everyone's talking about that because, it's 23 years after the fact. So, yeah, your vocals are going to sound different. There were certainly a few tracks that I felt they did better than the old ones. And then there was a lot that it felt quite similar. Circles was one of the ones I remember off the top of my head being very different and probably better than the original. And I think the other one might have been Wish You Were Here. I can't recall, but Hector, what was your quick impression on the 23 album?
I actually enjoyed it. Obviously, the vocals are not the same. I prefer the original, but I like echoes. What they did at the end, it's like a jam, and the song goes. I like that outro. I'm like, oh, they should have done that when they did the original song. I love that. That's a beautiful track.
Yeah.
And I liked it. I think I'm glad that they didn't just like did what Roger Waters did and just like like you imagine if they had like spoken word like this is an album called Morning View. It's morning, California. The waves are splashing down, and I have a view. I'm so glad that they didn't do that, and I
Yeah.
think it's good that it's a live recording because it felt more like a
Organic?
like a match, they're paying respect to their first album, and also they did it because that one's owned by Sony,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
this one's owned by them, so it's all about the
Money.
money, baby. Like bands are trying to get money. It's after COVID, less tours. I'm sure Incubus, they're a profitable band, but they're not Metallica,
No, no.
so or something like that. So I'm thinking they did it for a few reasons, and one is to actually make some money and they own this new one.
Yeah, 100%
So
owned by Incubus, which is
yeah,
obviously a big thing about my episode that I went on a rant about.
yeah.
Check that out. It's up there. Yeah.
Really good video, by the way. It was really nice.
Thank you. Longest
Yeah.
5-minute review I've
just
ever done.
concentrating on the songs. I'm like, I'm not going to compete with Chile.
Yeah.
I'm just going to talk about I'm not gonna like do like a whole like this is a 5-minute review, but it's really 17 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's 5-minute reviews all in one.
It's like 3 minutes about the album, and it's just the rest is a rant.
Oh yeah, but it's interesting, But
Yeah.
I think it makes sense that if you're a band and Metallica did the same thing when they did their own label, and now they repress their albums. Now they own their music, and it's after streaming, it's more difficult for musicians now. So that's why I think that trend now is going to keep on happening.
It'll go much more in the future
Because of
as well.
streaming. Yeah.
It's all to do with the streaming, and basically it's like a risk adventure. Do you really want to do a new album that may or may not be successful, and for 7 years is held within that? And who can anyway? JC, what did you think of 23? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it?
I thought it was good. It was decent, but I'm usually not a fan of like remaking albums. Like they probably should have just made a completely new album with new songs. Like, I think it's just like unnecessary, because especially since when it's like a really good album, like I've always thought that bands should remake their bad albums and then try to make them better.
Saint Anger, like what I said on my video.
Saint Anger, yeah.
I mean, we've discussed this in other videos. Like, I think like Metallica should remake Saint Anger. Like, I think they can actually like do it better.
It's a perfect
and make
album.
A pretty decent album out of that.
And justice for Saint Anger.
But I think that it was okay. I mean, I listened to it; it was enjoyable. But I mean, I think that's I think it was necessary. I would have preferred a newer album.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, maybe have a song called Tijuana.
Yes, not a bad idea. Matthew, you got to go listen to 23, all right? Go listen to 23.
Absolutely.
You'll be commenting below going, I think this of 23 when the video comes out.
Bet. I'll be doing that real soon.
Red hot. All right, I think we go on to the next one. We talked about Incubus for a long time there, but For the Fallen, Matthew, this is your pick here. An interesting little album that you have for us. Talk to us about For the Fallen Dreams, sorry, I should say. So talk to us about this band, Matthew.
Yeah, so For the Fallen Dreams, a lot of my picks fall in the more like heavy metalcore, hardcore picks. This band, I discovered it in 2007 when I first got into university and started going to shows more properly and discovering like hardcore and like real metalcore stuff. And I think someone gave me I remember I got a sample CD, a compilation CD from one of the shows. You get like 18, 20 songs from different bands, and one of their songs was on there. And then from there, went to their MySpace, checked them out and everything. It was just like really blown away by this style of metalcore music and like mix of hardcore because I've never heard it before, and it just blew me away when I first heard the first album, Changes. Just heavy, hard stuff, which is great. And then this is like 15 plus years later. A lot of I think this band might have had like the most member changes I've ever seen. They have to have at least over 30 members.
Holy, really?
Maybe even 40. 2BH. If you look at their Wikipedia,
whoa.
Besides the guitar, I think the lead guitarist, they've had so many member changes up. Like every time I would see them, it was literally 2 to 3 different members that had come in and out. Seeing them live.
Maybe they should have been named for the fallen members.
They dropping like flies and then reanimating, coming back in. Because besides surprisingly the vocalists, they only had like 2 vocalists, but like guitarists, drummers, bassists have come and go. You're looking it up right now?
Yeah, I just see it now. I mean, it's not like the levels of Santana with their lineups, but what have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There were 17 past members.
Okay, I shot a little too high, but that's still, for a small tier band and everything, that's a lot of members.
Yeah, like, I mean, how many albums have they put out? Less than 10, I'm guessing?
7.
Oh,
7 albums, and there's been
interesting.
17 bloody lineup changes. Okay.
I have a connection to the band.
You have a connection.
Yes, I just heard read the Wikipedia. They're from Lansing, Michigan. I lived in Lansing, Michigan in 2000 for 1 year, 2000 2001, when I studied law school for 1 year and I flunked. I didn't die, but I flunked.
He didn't die for this one.
Hey,
Hey, that's good.
maybe law school is not for me.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe listening to For the Fallen. Maybe I could be a band member of theirs.
Maybe I could have been a member.
Everyone could be a member. You could be a member. You could be a member.
You're in the band. You're in the band. You're in the band.
I could have been like I could have been the dancer. I could have been like dancing like this on stage. Like,
We all
what
need
is
that
your
backup
talent?
dancer.
Yeah, I dance.
Or keyboards.
No, I don't play keyboards, man.
Ah.
Oh,
But so talking about all these member changes made me think this latest album. Yeah, they have, and it's funny. Their first album is called Changes. They have changed so much. It just makes me so sad because they're not. I mean, I get bands, and you want to move from a different sound over time. You want to evolve, but it was such a stark change that it crushed my heart because it just was not even like the main guitar writer who's been in all the whole time writing all the stuff. It just didn't sound anything like they were when if you listen to their first album and this one. It's just completely different. Like lots of overuse of clean vocals, very boring like riffs, and like I don't know, the lyrics were just kind of bland. Everything was just so either really mid or boring, and they were not a boring band. Like I used to like people would dogpile to fight to get to the mic to sing like their best song, Brothers in Arms, and then they have these songs where it's just slow, kind of clean singing. It just
was that a cover of the Dire Straits song?
No. Their own version of Brothers in Arms, different song, but yeah, it's hard to look at this album just seeing how different and what I have associated with them. But I will say the drumming and the production at least were pretty good, but it just only in name is this band, and that's why I had to put them in here because it just disappointed me so much.
Yeah, I just had a quick search on them, and it's like they've only got one original member, which is Jim.
It's basically a different band.
It's like barely a band. I don't know. Anyway.
Besides, like the vocalist, he came back and like he's like the main vocalist from originally, but like he's doing like even his heart screams are still kind of like, man, and they used to do clean vocals here and there, and they were just like, oh, they're throwing in a little clean vocals, it's cool. But going all clean vocals, it just feels very butt rock, and it's just like, yeah, I get.
I would call it divorce that territory.
Ooh. Except it's like it's a bit still new. I don't know.
Divorce metalcore.
Yeah.
Divorce butt rock. It's just
It's giving that energy.
Giving the energy of that. I'm gonna jump over to.
But there's foreshadowing. Their first album was called Changes.
Yeah.
So they knew what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I can't be mad. I should have seen this all these years coming. They were planting the seeds from the beginning.
Yeah. They were trying to tell everyone, but you you just weren't picking up on it. So it's all right, Matthew. We'll forgive you for this instance. What about?
Thanks.
I just remember when I listened to this was the most different album that Matthew picked. I'm like, oh my god, there's actual singing here. And
Yeah.
like there's no breakdowns. I'm like this was like for me this was like Matthew picked like he picked like
The Acacia Strain.
Like he picked the commercials. I'm like, oh my god, I couldn't believe that he picked something that sounded more commercial, because the other ones, like I'm like, yeah, these are Matthew's picks.
You could tell what were Matthew's picks because you just couldn't understand the lyrics, except for the Fallen Dreams. That's a bit different. So. But yeah, okay, fair enough then. So, what is your thoughts in regards to this album, JC? What are you thinking about it?
Yeah, so I'm usually not the biggest metalcore fan, but I thought it was pretty good. I think, like you guys were saying, it was a little different. It was a little more like easier to listen to. I mean, it's a really good album. It's like 37 minutes. So the songs are like 3 minutes long. So it's like it's just a pretty cool album. I think like the the songs are like all like just really really memorable, and they all kind of have like these like short names. They're all like named after like one word, like the words are like either testify,
Mm,
searching, or
mm.
self hate.
Makes it easier to
So
remember.
it's yeah, yeah. So I don't know. Like out of all the ones that like Matthew picked, I think yeah, like you said, this one was different. I mean, the other ones were very heavy, but I think this one has some pretty good songwriting. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good album. Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. What about your
yeah.
thoughts, Hector? What did you think about For the Fallen Dreams?
So I had never listened to this band ever in my life. So I enjoyed it. It did was more commercial. I like the singing on it. But maybe it's because I like me some butt rock sometimes.
I do
Like,
too. I do too.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
put on some Stained.
We
Put on
did.
Puddle of Mud.
We had the king of butt rock on this the list. It just didn't come up.
That's the butt work I like, not this
Yeah.
kind of.
I like
too
big butts
sterile.
and I cannot lie. This stained 14 shades of gray.
But yeah, like I enjoyed it. I didn't know much about the history of the band, but yeah, I think I then listened to some of their older stuff, and yeah, you can tell the difference. I think they were heavier, but it makes sense now. There's so many people in the band, so basically it's a different band.
Yeah.
Like it's a different band, and but they listening to it, it did felt like it was from the 2000. It felt like from that era,
Mm.
like when the metalcore tried to get more commercial and stuff. But I did enjoy it. You know, I thought it had some interesting parts to it. So yeah, those were my thoughts with the band. I knew nothing about that band. Like the only band that Matthew picked that I really knew was the Akasha Strain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, fair enough then. Yeah, look, I'd never heard of this band either, For the Fallen Dreams, when Matthew suggested them. Actually, out of Matthew's picks, I hadn't heard of 3 of the bands. Obviously, my Bloody Valentine... no, not Bloody Valentine.
I killed the prom queen.
I Killed the
and
Prom
Confession.
Queen. And, yeah, Confession. I've heard of I Killed the Prom Queen, obviously, but Cancer, I
Your
wasn't aware
Australian
of.
bands.
Yeah. Yeah. Who are these Aussie rocks? Yeah, we don't know these Aussie rock acts. It's not AC/DC.
Sir, are you Aussie?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm not actually Aussie. I'm from Mexico, you see. I don't know why I'm doing that in that voice, but still.
Great Mexican accent.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, look, if it's an Aussie band and it doesn't have, the same 3 letters, AC/DC, then I don't know them pretty much. No. But, so, when I was going through it, I like I said on the last episodes, I think, it was very clear which ones are Matthew's picks every time that shuffle would come through, especially when I was listening to the Acacia Strain, which felt like one of the heaviest bloody bands on that whole list. And then when I got to For the Fallen, I felt For the Fallen Dreams, sorry, I feel like, I don't know, it was a bit forgettable. It kind of just blended in with the playthroughs that I was listening to them, and I think I'll chalk this one up to the style of music that was on this record, because it just sounds very commonplace kind of metalcore. But I didn't hate it. I
Common core.
arena core or whatever you want to call it. I don't know, but it sounded like very common with all these bands, like from now, well, a couple of years ago till now. It just sounded very butt rock to a degree of the arena core sound. Not to say that I hated this record. It wasn't bad. There were a few tracks here and there that I'm listening to going, yeah, that's not too bad. That's pretty cool. But out of, I guess, all of Matthew's picks, it was the one that I don't recall as much as the other 3. It's there amongst his picks.
Maybe that's the record that Matthew played when he went on dates.
Look, I can't
My
do
date
Incubus, but I can give you for the Fallen
Fallen
Dreams.
They couldn't even name the album. They just self-titled.
Yeah,
it.
like fuck this. Yeah, we got a picture. Can someone get a picture
Get
of
out
a
my
black
dreams
hole?
and get into my car.
Yeah, we've got insert generic picture of a black hole looking thing on the front there, and yeah, we'll just self-title it. Perfect, done.
Don't want to dunk on it, but man, like Matt's Pits. Oh my god.
Yeah, screw.
Well,
Come on.
maybe they fall like we could name it Falling, and they would get like a cease and desist from Evanescence.
It looks like the cover for Super Collider from Megadeth, but just like in different color schemes. I don't know.
Nothing about it sticks out. You're thinking of somebody else, or it's just tra la la la.
You know, I'm thinking there was a lot of like member changes. I just blamed Lansing, Michigan. I don't know if
this is all
anyone has
Michigan's
been to
fault.
Lansing, Michigan is one of the most depressing places I've been to in my whole life. I'm telling you, it was depressing. The sun never came out like 2 days. Was there. So yeah, no.
How close is that to Flint?
I can't remember. I didn't have a car, man.
It's probably too close.
I'll say an hour or two, because that area of the States, everything's relatively an hour or two from each other.
Yeah, my only good memory about living in Lansing, Michigan is that I saw Pearl Jam in Detroit.
Oh, I thought you were going to say leaving, but all right.
I was going to say leaving too, like leaving Lansing.
And leaving, yeah.
Yeah, two thoughts. Oh, at least you saw Pearl Jam, I guess. That's the that's the good thing about it. All right, so I think For the Fallen Dreams, okay, I've given my 2 cents. I'm sure I've pissed off a few people watching this video, but it's my opinion. That's how I think about this one.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah! Let's get to this. Let's come up to the decisions. Everyone, we're going to go with the decisions. Which albums we're going to be listening to, which ones are going to be to see live, and which one we're going to be erasing. We're at that stage of the episode, the one that brings up controversy and everyone just gets angry and types comments of pure hatred on. So get ready, keyboard warriors, because we're going to make our decisions. I'm going to throw it over to Hector for the first round. Which albums are you going to choose and why?
Okay, so I'm erasing For the Fallen Dreams because I don't have a huge connection to this band, and I don't want to see them live because maybe there's just going to be like 2 members there. I'm like, where are the other members? They didn't show up. I'm like, can I get my fucking money back? So yeah, I think that's an easy one, but the other one is it's very hard because I love Incubus and I love The Ocean, and I've seen both in concert. Actually, I've seen Incubus in concert like twice. So I would probably see live again The Ocean without listening to their music ever again. Just see them live because they're amazing live, and I would listen to Incubus forever because those are classic albums that I've listened to for a long time. So those are my choices.
Nice. Okay, very good choices there as well. Matthew, what about you? What albums would you be choosing and why?
I'll say my choices, but I feel like a prediction here. I feel like we're all maybe going to say the same thing, I think.
Oh.
So, with that being said, just like Hector, sorry to my boys and For the Fallen Dreams, but I would erase that album. Like, sorry. So
we should have made an Easy That Bad for that one.
Yeah, dual episode.
Say no more, fam. All right, I'll talk about that album for days. But I still love that band. So even though I'm hating on them, I still love them. Still a great band to me. And I guess with Hector saying between The Ocean and Incubus, not gonna lie, pretty tough choices. But I would say for sure the live experience of seeing that out, The Ocean played out, and like I feel there's gonna be a lot of theatrical parts to it. They're gonna make it a real show. Like it's gonna be like one and done. Is all you need to see it for you'll never need to see it again, or just like it's just gonna be so great that I don't know. Yeah, you just couldn't experience it any other way but live, which leaves Incubus to, I think, Morning View.
Oh fuck.
It just wants to come out.
Yeah, no.
The G word wants to come out so naturally. I
Gotta
really
find
had
that
to
G
think
spot.
on it. Oh my god! And I'm thinking Morning View in so many different scenarios. Minus driving now. I probably won't want to do that, but cleaning my house, chilling with friends, doing stuff. It can fit in so many different scenarios while listening that it just easily slides into that spot. And like I said, get 2 albums with this one, so if I want to switch it up, I can listen to the newer one or the older one. So
yeah, that's fair.
2 + 1.
2
1 + 1.
2 for the price of 1, everyone. So Not a bad pick there. What about you, JC? Which albums are you picking and why?
Yeah, no, I think Matthew predicted that we're all going to say the same thing, but I kind of am, but I have some different things to say. So, yeah, For the Fallen Dreams is going to be my erase. Not that I don't like it, it's just based on the other two. I think that's the only reason why I would erase. But I mean, it was okay, but like Chili said, also it wasn't super memorable out of all the albums. Now, the Ocean. I'm thinking I want to see them live, but I'm kind of like imagining a show where, like that Las Vegas Dome, where you're inside like this big dome and they have like this they have like this like underwater scene and there's all this
That
like
would be
fish
awesome.
and like
That
sharks
would be fucking
like
sick.
floating around.
I would lose my
and
mind.
they're playing this out. They're playing this album, and then you could just look up and see all the fish.
There's
And,
only one problem,
they just-
JC. There's
What?
only one. They're not fucking U2. They don't have the
Nah.
budget.
Screw you two. Put this one in the sphere and fill it with water. Just fill it with water.
Real water.
Actually, I have a funny story about the Ocean because I interviewed them. You know what they do on tour? Their meet and greet is actually meet and feed. So when they're on the road in the States, people bring them food and then they sign stuff for them. And I wanted to ask him when I interviewed him, what if they bring you Taco Bell?
I have a bad case of diarrhea. I have a bad case of diarrhea.
Taco Bell. Eat from us and just use the bathroom constantly.
Or like they get like a crazy sucking fan that poisons their food. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's
So
weird.
that would be like JC's idea is awesome,
I
but
love
I
it.
wish they had the budget for it because I would so pay to see that.
If they did it one
Yeah.
time, if they just scrounge up money and just have like a one-time experience, it'd be worth the trip.
Fuck yeah, that would
Yeah.
be sick.
yeah.
Oh, I can imagine the colors
And
and,
then
everything.
all of a sudden you get the music, the waves, and all of a sudden you sing uno, dos, tres, catorce. You're like, no, God damn you, Bono.
Yeah.
I'm like, learn to count.
Every time you clap, it's another mile under the ocean.
Stop clapping.
No, that's jeez, I never
Okay,
thought
so-
about that.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, that's kind of like just went through my head when I'm going for that. So obviously, I would listen to Incubus. So say it that way. I think that it's just a classic album, and even with a new one, it's good to have. Like I actually like both of them. I would actually like listen to both of them, the new one or the old one. Yeah,
That is
that's it. Yeah.
like I never really considered the sphere, whatever you call that thing. What's it called? The one in Las Vegas?
Sphere.
Is it called the Sphere?
Is
The dome.
Is it a dome or
The dome.
dome or sphere? I don't know.
It couldn't be sphere. It's like half a sphere. It'd be a semi-sphere.
I think it's
I think.
Yeah.
Let me.
It's got to be like the dome, surely. But it's like the Simpsons dome. They just put it on the. But no,
Just put it out there on Twitter.
Yeah.
Please, the ocean.
yeah,
play the
yeah.
dome.
Someone tagged the ocean in that because like they're gonna get it in their mind. They're gonna like crowdfund me, people. We're going to perform the best concert that anyone's seen since the war.
Oh, it's called the Sphere.
It is called this. That doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. It's a semi-sphere.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, it's like it kind of like the bottom part is kind of cut off, but like
Yeah.
it looks like 3/4 of it is mostly a sphere.
Yeah,
Like it's not half.
It's like semi-sphere. Quadrant sphere.
Quadrant, yeah.
Quadrant sphere. I'm getting technical. Mathematicians out there, please correct me, because you know they listen to my channel. So I guess will Matthew's predictions come true with my selections? Here is the question. When you're going over this, is everything's coming to plan? Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah. Matthew is like, I picked the winner. I picked the right record for this one, and I predicted. I'm just going to go for the multi one here. Yep, perfect. So I think when it comes to For the Fallen, I kind of had it in my mind that whichever list it was going to appear on, even if it was alongside Ministry's album, I would still erase it because
Ooh.
even I would prefer to listen to Ministry over For the Fallen Dreams. I just think it's this generic, crappy, not crappy. I think it's just so generic that it kind of blends in with so many other albums out there. You know,
No disrespect, but yes.
yeah,
Preaching.
it's just like this, man. You know,
It's
it's
there.
like
It's just
a fucking. It's like cement. It's like there's a million cubical meters of fucking cement, and For the Fallen Dreams is one of those metal arena core bands that just makes up the cement. There are bricks that stand out better than this. I don't know what synonyms can I,
shots
you know,
fired.
what synonyms can I put out there? I don't know. This just
Right now, as Chile is talking, a member is
yeah.
is banned.
If I bought tickets now to For the Fallen Dreams for 7 months later, will I get a different lineup? That's the question. By the mathematicians, you know, what is it? It's been 20 years. They've had 17 members. That's one member a year nearly. You know, it's like, why? That doesn't create, and it creates such an issue because what is their true sound then? If they've had so many lineup changes, they've had all these different changes in sound. So what is their sound? Question mark, question mark, question mark. There is no identity when it comes to the Fallen Dreams because there's so many lineup changes. It's almost to the same degree like Santana, who have had something like, I think, 50 or 60 lineup changes, different members, you know, and
Yeah, but on that, only Santana's the only important one there. So yeah, it's a different beast.
yeah, to a degree, but it also, you know, with other members like Greg Rowley or Neil Schon, those people are key members of the band, or at least back in their early days in Inception, particular Neil Schon. But yeah, you know, like there's been so many lineup changes, and you can hear that over their career, and it's the same for the Fallen Dreams here, and I just didn't really care for this one. So yeah, I think I would erase it despite whatever lineup it would have come up on, always. So then it just leaves the other two albums, which yes, are very difficult. They're a very difficult choice because, you know, The Ocean is a really good album, and of course Incubus with Morning View is so ingrained in my mind as being called the other word, glory, but or I should have said glorious. Fuck, I missed the chance there. Anyway, but yeah. So anyway, it's like this, I don't know, childhood album that is so perfect. And will I go and, you know, choose what everyone else has chosen? The answer is no. I would listen to The Ocean, despite the fact that I have played Incubus's Morning View so many times, and I think it's a great album that I will always want to listen to. I think that The Ocean is more enjoyable. I think it's something that I really want to go back and listen to more. I think it's an album that I would really love to play through more and more often. And while I would miss out on seeing them in, like, I don't know, the Sphere situation, like JC said, I think it would be a really interesting perspective to see the band in that scenario. You know, it's like, what, you wouldn't see Incubus in the Sphere, would you? I don't think that would be an experience, but, you know...
well, no, they played, I love when they played at Red Rocks.
That's what I was thinking of. Like, Red Rocks would be a really cool place to see Incubus, for example. You know, out there, something mellow, afternoon, sun setting, and you go and see them live in a setting like that. I just believe that Morning View would be an album that I can listen. I would love to see them live because I've never seen Incubus, and I've heard it so much that I can kind of just pass on the torch, if you will. So I guess I would see it live and never listen to it again. And yeah, The Ocean, I would want to listen to this album more. I think it's, for you, Hector, it's probably the best album that you suggested on your list. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And after Puya, then Puya.
Yeah, Puya. Well, yeah, that and Puya. It's like hard choices there. So I think that's my choices in regards to the records and how they would go for that one. So tough choices. Sorry for the Fallen Dreams, but yeah, your album sucks. Just don't. Maybe change some more lineups. That'll work because it's worked in the past. But you know, anyway, I think that brings up the wrap to this episode of Live Listen Erased. Everyone, thank you very much for coming along for this episode. Hector, it's so good to have you on this one. Go and check out his channel, of course, where he does lots of interviews with musicians, discusses music. Of course, there's the reviews, Is It That Bad series, which I've appeared on as well a few times. Hell, there might even be one of these albums on this random roulette wheel appearing on it soon. We don't know, but we
never know.
We never know. It's all up for grabs.
You never know if I'm going to interview an artist and then do the record on Is It That Bad?
Yeah.
And you know what's funny? On that episode, I kept calling him Jake Owen, and it's Jack. But I'm glad when I interviewed him, I called him Jack.
Well, that's good. At least
I'm
you
like, so Jake, tell me about. I'm like, my name is Jack.
It's Jack, damn you, please. But no, make sure to go and check out Hector's channel, Chill Dude on a Couch. Does fantastic content, of course, as always. Thank you very much for being on this episode, Hector.
My pleasure, man.
We've got Matthew Diazable Reviews over here. Of course, go and check out his channel. He does discuss a lot of music with his amazing reviews, a lot of hardcore stuff. There was an interesting one you did just recently. Sorry, I'm having a mental blank on who it was, but I went and listened to it, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? This is cool. Like, I've got to do a review on it myself, and I'll give you a shout out.
Was it Taylor Swift?
No, come on, bro.
Taylor Swift.
Definitely Taylor. Who's this Taylor Swift person? I've never heard of her.
So underground.
She's an up and coming
artist. Yeah. Okay. Maybe I can get her on my channel. But yeah, so he does lots of reviews. He also has a lot of stuff that he does for his artwork, which is, paintings, drawings, etc. Probably some of that stuff. Is that stuff in the background there? Some of your works?
Unfortunately, no. But hopefully one day it might. It's just this inspiration, band flags. That's all. But
fair enough. But no, there's band merch. Sorry, not band merch. There's also merch for t-shirts and stuff like that. Go check out Diazable Tunes, Diazable Reviews as well. Is it Diazable Tunes is the other channel, correct?
No, that's the only channel I have, Diazable Tunes. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, yeah. But yeah, go check it out.
Diazable Apparel is the clothes.
That's it, Diazable Apparel.
Yeah, apparel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, go check it out. Thank you very much, Matthew, for being on this episode of Alive, A Listen, Erased.
Thank you for having me.
It's always a pleasure with you, Matthew. You beautiful bastard, you. And JC, of course, everyone make sure to go and check out JC's channel. This guy has wealth of knowledge. I always say this, but he always discusses some awesome albums in regards to it. You were checking out, I think it was Morbid Angel recently with your review, and that was like, oh my god, I forgot about Morbid Angel. And yeah, that review was
I got a lot of negative comments because I was like, I just put on the thumbnail, I said, is it a masterpiece or is it mid? And a lot of people got upset because I wasn't even calling it mid. I was just like posing the question, like, is it mid? And people got upset with that. So
you're gonna put that video is actually beat, or is it just morbid?
But then that video is they're doing very well. It's like close to 500 views.
Oh wow. Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, oh man, I haven't listened to Morbid Angel in ages. And after listening to, of course, 6 Feet Under, I'm like, I need some refreshing take on the scene. So.
And you were walking, and I heard a kid like, "What is Morbid Angel said?" I'm kidding. Some random kid like, "What are you talking about?" like because he did the walking review.
Yes. Yeah, so, oh my god, make sure to go and check out JC's channel. He obviously does a lot of discussions for, various metal. I want to say it's a bit more focused on some of the, I wouldn't say older, but, more traditional senses of metal as well.
I do a lot of, classic rock.
Yeah, classic rock. So, yeah, no, go and check out JC's channel, JC Rock and Metal Reviews. Fantastic. Thank you very much, JC, for being on this episode of Live Listener Race as well.
Yes, you're welcome.
And, of course, lastly, my beautiful self. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do so. But if you think that I'm annoying and my voice is just whatever, then please subscribe too as well. It helps with the algorithm if you comment negatively. So, comment away. I love it. Plus, I'll react to the comments if they're that bad. So. But no, fantastic. Thank you very much for everyone joining us. Once again, thank you for tuning in. We're going to have lots more episodes coming out in the future as well. So everyone out there, you have a great day and you stay spicy out there. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to us, and stay notified for future music-related content because it keeps our manager happy at the end of the day. We are also on Discord, Instagram, Facebook, and all those other social platforms if you want to check us out. As always, people, you have a great day and stay spicy.
Use that content.
Everyone, you've just joined to the OnlyFans page of Live Listener Race.
Oh, you have one as well too?
Yeah.
Matthew just did the twerking challenge.
Yeah. Twerking to Kerry King.